In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 weirdest inventions of all time, so before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Hundreds of thousands of patents are issued by the US Patent and Trademark Office for new inventions every year. Some of these creations, such as the light bulb, personal computer, and automobile, changed the world. Others have made everyday life a little easier and potentially more fun. Just look at your smartphone or the cat scratch toy that resembles a DJ's turntable. And some inventions are for things people never realized they needed, but now desperately want. Who wouldn't want a high-tech laundry folding machine or a breathalyzer-powered app that helps you avoid overspending when you've had one too many? But despite the countless numbers of interesting, useful, and even groundbreaking inventions on the market, many other bizarre creations in history barely made it beyond their initial prototypes. Perhaps they were ahead of their time, impractical products, or simply confusing to use. However, while they failed to stand the test of time, they serve as a relic of their era. Strange creations from yesteryear can give people a sense of the culture of previous generations and the problems that their crafty inventors tried to solve. Who knew that people had so much trouble scooping spaghetti from a bowl that someone dreamed up a twisting fork? It may speak to the confusion Americans may have had about foreign cuisines and their determination to enjoy these tasty new foods. Here's a list of the top 10 weirdest inventions of all time. Let's start. Number 10. Duct tape. Use the right tool for the job, but if that tool isn't available, then the next best thing just might be duct tape. People reach for their handy roll of silver-sided tape for almost everything, from keeping their car's dangling side view mirrors hanging on to making fashion statements. Duct tape shoes, anyone? Duct tape began as a serious solution. During World War II, the US military needed a strong, waterproof tape to help keep ammunition cases dry. By modifying medical tape, researchers at the Permacell division of Johnson & Johnson came up with a 3-ply tape that sandwiched a fabric mesh between a layer of polyethylene on top and a rubber-based adhesive on the bottom. Their take on tape performed better than anyone expected. It was exceedingly strong, yet allowed soldiers to rip it easily into strips. And its ability to repel water became legendary, inspiring admirers to call it duct tape because it reminded them of a waterfowl's waxy feathers. Number 9. Toilet. Scatological humor has a long history, so it's no surprise that toilets appear on our list. In fact, the sound of a flushing toilet has served as an instantly recognizable punchline in sitcoms for decades. One reason toilets are funny is that they level the playing field. Kings and queens must share this particular throne with even the lowliest peasants. Toilets also have funny nicknames such as head, can, loo, and privy. The funniest nickname, Crapper, may be attributed to Thomas Crapper, the device's supposed inventor. In reality, Thomas Crapper didn't invent the toilet. Although he was a plumber and did hold patents, including 3 for water closets, Crapper can't take credit for the combination of bowl, plumbing, and flushing mechanism we recognize today as a toilet. That honor goes to Sir John Harington, an Elizabethan courtier, translator, and writer who installed a flush toilet in the palace of Queen Elizabeth in 1591. Harington described his invention in The Metamorphosis of Ajax, the first book in a saucy trilogy that threw the writer into disgrace. Number 8. Comedy. It's strange to think of comedy being invented, but as a dramatic or literary genre, it had to begin somewhere. That somewhere was ancient Greece, probably around the 5th century BC. Most scholars believe that comedy arose out of the revels associated with the rites of Dionysus, a god who embodied the fertility of nature. In fact, the word comedy comes from the Greek verb komos, meaning to revel. If you know anything about the Dionysian festivals known as Bacchanalia to the Romans, then you know what took place. Revelers drank a lot, had sex and, in general, participated in all forms of debauchery. Joking and laughing most certainly played important roles in the celebration. Number 7. Condom. Condoms can induce giggles in just about any crowd. What other object can be used either to make balloon animals or to prevent pregnancy? And name one other invention that looks as simple to use, yet seems so mystifying when it's removed from its package? No wonder teenagers experience fits of nervous laughter when they learn about condoms in their sex ed classes. Often, kids are too embarrassed to buy them, and many need some lessons or practice before they can use them effectively. Did you know that condoms have a shelf life? Or that the worst place to carry a condom is in your back pocket or your wallet? Number 6. The Motorola Dynatac 8000X phone. Ah, the 1980s. Who can forget the advent of MTV, big hairbands, parachute pants, leg warmers, and greet as good Gordon Gekko, taking a stroll down the beach while he speaks to Hero Bud Fox on a monster-sized mobile phone? That telecommunications device could be one of the funniest machines ever built. Start with the Dynatac moniker, which stands for Dynamic Adaptive Total Area Coverage. Maybe Motorola figured the unwieldy name would distract people from the fact that the world's first commercial handheld mobile phone was barely mobile at all. It measured 13 by 1.75 by 3.5 inches, 330 by 44 by 89 millimeters, and weighed 28 ounces, 793 grams. Compare that to an Apple iPhone 4, which is just 4.5 inches, 115.2 millimeters, high and tips the scale at 4.8 ounces, 137 grams. Number 5. Beer. Beer not only makes things more humorous to those consuming it, but its creation is also comical. Even thousands of years ago, people still added an extra punch to their feasts and gatherings with intoxicating beverages. As archaeologists continue to piece together where and how the first brew was crafted, one thing's for sure, this intoxicating beverage changed the way people lived and had fun. Physical evidence of fermented beverages dates as far back as 9,000 years ago, experts say, with beer entering the scene at least 5,000 years ago. But beer isn't the first thing to come to mind when you want to tie modern societies to ancient civilizations. Even so, the beverage likely played a role in determining which crops to harvest and potentially where large groups of people chose to settle. Intoxication may have fostered cultural activities, including artistic expression, medicine, and spiritual rituals. Number 4. TV dinners. The idea of the television affecting humans' diets may seem silly, but take the case of the TV dinner. The popularity of the TV during the mid-20th century carried into dinner time for the average American family. To make tube viewing more convenient during mealtime, companies created ways to pre-package foods for easy consumption. TV dinner meals popped up in a variety of forms, some more humorous and palatable than others. Is that meat or potato in that compartment? Inspired by packaged airplane meals, the TV dinner hit markets in the late 1940s. Meals would be processed at factories and purchased at the grocer to store in the freezer at home. They could be heated up by oven, or later, microwave, at the person's convenience. Number 3. Reality TV. With reality TV, you never know what ridiculous scene you'll stumble upon by changing the channel. Some shows place the spotlight on people's raw interactions with each other, while others seem so far-fetched that the thought of labeling them as reality is laugh-inducing. As one expert puts it, reality TV incites a type of voyeurism for those watching, much like peering into your neighbor's kitchen or bedroom window without them knowing. Number 2. The bra. Underwear can make even the most serious of us giggle. Why? Because these garments cover the private parts of a person's body. Let's just say what people don under their clothes can be the most revealing fashion statement. Bras in particular hold a greater significance. Though women sported bra-like garments in ancient times, they didn't really pick up until the debut of Mary Phelps Jacobs' backless brassiere in the early 1900s. Her version of this undergarment redefined how women showcased or contained their breasts, depending on trends and time period. Phelps Jacob eventually sold her inventions patent to the Warner Brothers Corset Company, where the bra surpassed the corset in popularity, partially because corsets used valuable metal that needed to be used toward World War I. The bra obtained its characteristic cups later on Phelps Jacobs' original invention, intended to flatten the chest, not lift it up. Number 1. Cartoons. Where would we be without cartoons? Would we look at pictures poking fun at political leaders the same way? Would the idea of slipping on a banana still be funny? Throughout history, illustrations have communicated ideas with wit. For instance, political cartoons printed in early periodicals satirized people and issues, providing both a good laugh and food for thought. With the rise of illustration and animation, cartoons carried a more familiar meaning to TV viewers. Mickey Mouse and company charmed their way into our hearts, doing things too ridiculous to happen off-screen. Superheroes inspired comic readers and viewers to courageously pursue justice, even though their animated worlds were chock full of fiction and flying protagonists in spandex. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.